Yo, what's up guys, welcome back in next match, Cross-Banlist Cup. So bottom part again, we have two titans, two title candidates actually to take it this year. So as you know, both these decks are still undefeated, well they're on the right side. And as you know, a deck list, or at least a deck, can lose once and then to move on to the left side, and it can still win the entire tournament like every time. So, again, as I mentioned before, two title candidates, two decks that I feel are, I was about to say quite similar, tier 0-ish. Well, there was Sprite in case of Tearlaments, and there was like Eldritch back on Adamancipators. Well, it was kind of like a weird format because that was basically COVID format, 2020, strange format because again, no in real life, or hardly any in real life tournament. So which deck has the advantage? Initially I thought it would have been a lot closer, at least like before, if you would have asked me before this particular match. I would like maybe have said 60-40 maybe in favor of probably Tearlaments, you know, because of the name. But I feel Adamancipators definitely has chances. But then again, well, no, I mean, the thing is that what I was about to say is going first is, I think, a little bit less important for Tearlaments. I mean, for the most obvious reasons. And especially looking at the side decks, both these decks are both main decking and side decking heavily going second. And especially in case of Tearlaments, Mystic Mine is there, Rasphere mode, stuff like that. Those are clutch. Super Poly as well could be clutch against something like Adamancipators. So I would maybe, well, what was it? 72-28, I think, something like that. For me, it would have been maybe 60-40. So we'll see. Adamancipators going second, and that's a huge deal. It's a huge problem, especially if there wasn't any nip or board wipe. Droplet, Dark Ruler, but I think Droplet is side-decked for this particular deck list. And Dweller. Dweller is crucial against both decks, especially when they are going first, and there is a potential threat of Dark Ruler, of Rasphere mode, of whatever, even Super Poly, making sure that you don't have the same attribute on board, right? That's in case of Adamancipators, but against this board, no chance. Especially in game number 1, where it's pre-side deck, there is no chance for Adamancipators coming back after this superb opening turn, right, for tier. Okay, so post-side deck, and this is a super weak hand. I think, yeah, indeed, I kept in Gammas, because I think I side decked in everything that I could, especially going first. So the Gammas, they were just, I mean, if I would get hand-trapped or whatever, there was just nothing better to side deck in, I guess. So again, a super weak opening turn, because this was basically my only play. Helki was the only play, but the advantage here for Adamancipators, almost full force, was that Helki was basically full combo. Especially when they have access to Link Cross, giving you the tokens, 1 or 2 tokens depending on the setup. Herald is of course really crucial, or could be crucial in this matchup. Problem is that it's a lie. Well, obviously, it prevents Droplet, sure. Problem is that it doesn't do that much against Ruler and Rasphere mode. That's kind of a big deal as well. So really, I guess priority number 1 is to go for Dweller, because Dweller can be used under Rasphere mode, under Dark Ruler, can be used under before Super Poly, you know what I mean. So again, making sure that I don't have the same attributes on field. So no Masquerina, that would give me 2 Darks. So I don't want that Appaloosa being Wind, Boral Savage, and Dweller being active. That's crucial, but I get Rat. Advantage though is that I have Block Dragon, and you know, Block Dragon is super busted. And here I was thinking of summoning Guardian first. I was like, imagine Super Poly, I might lose my Adamancipators, but long story short, because I still have Block Dragon, I probably should have summoned my Quackimero Guardian first. I'm not sure if it would have mattered, because this Talents comes in super clutch. Because, what was the set? Was it a crime? I think it was a crime, and because of the chain links, I don't think you would have been able to use crime first and then the trap to, you know, potentially negate the monster effect and send the tier from your, what is it, field to the graveyard. No, because Talents would have resolved by the time, at least by that time. So again, the Talents is what takes me this particular duel. Okay, so hold on. Going second, and I see double droplet. I was like, okay, this is decent. But the other depends on, you know, Tier playing into talents. So we'll see. This is definitely a strong play for Tier. What is it? Milling 8. There was already one fusion summon. This should be the second. Thing is that what are you going for? I guess Garura is fine because it puts up Elf plus potential draw. Here the danger is discarding themselves, which I guess is fine. You can still use Sharon for next turn plus Murdy. Also maybe for next turn or for the discard if you want, in case of Sharon, that is. So Rule Carols hits the field for monster negation plus is protected by Elf. Deal here is that even though I use Droplet, I get crimed. And I'm going to scoop it up. There's no way I can dodge that field. Whatever, it's Tier. Especially going second, that's kind of big. Especially with crime and the other trap. You know, the monster negation. And this opening turn feels super similar compared to my, what is it, turn number 2? Where again, I guess Helki was my only line of play. So, one interruption, as in one Imperm, probably would have done it. But I don't think the deck is playing Imperm, or, I mean, I'm looking at potential other decks like Sprite, etc. Those are decks that are playing multiple hand traps, but it is what it is. So, standard plays, Granite, Searching Block Dragon. I was thinking of leaving the level 6 Synchro on field. Was it Reptide? Because that one, what is it, banishes from grave if I'm not mistaken, if you have a wind in your own graveyard. But I eventually opt to go for Appaloosa as well, and that you know, would give me 2 wins on field. So I do opt to go for, indeed go for Appaloosa. Red Reboot is still there because again there was just nothing better to keep in the deck. Triple Appointer was already there. So Appointer is definitely going in clutch. You see that one of Ra's Fear Mode in hand, and for the rest, nothing else. Hefness is top decked. But again, Dweller is shotgun, so definitely a solid play. Plus, of course, Appaloosa. So that kind of makes sense not activating Hefness. I mean, you could burn like an Appaloosa material, I guess. I mean, it doesn't really matter too much. We've seen the hand, we saw the hand because of a pointer. And this should be game, right? Because this is not enough. Sure, I'm going to lose my Apo. And the Charmer. Oh, the Charmer could have... I mean, maybe... What is it? Potential... What are the options? Access Code? Is the deck running Access Code? Unicorn or Access Code? Potentially, yeah, popping Dweller, preventing Dweller from hitting next turn. Maybe, you know, letting you survive, but I mean, Adamancipator having access to Block Dragon, they can pump out multiple big monsters. So, speaking of big monsters, Dweller is still face up on the field. I can go for my Savage this time. I wasn't able to go for it before because of some unfortunate mills or reveals or excavations, I think. So Doki is there, basically just Link Father. Yeah, I go for Herald, but this doesn't matter. This is again more than enough to attack for a game. So, as I felt before, yep, we are going into a game number 5. The also important game number 5. But problem is again, Adamancipators going second. And I think, as I've mentioned before, I think a deck from both these decks, a deck the deck that wants to go first, that has the most difficulties to battle it out if going second against the other deck, I feel is Adamancipator. So Adamancipator is a deck that wants to go first. This was a big Imperm though, so let's see if it could come in clutch. A weaker hand though. The Gamma is there. I mean, Gamma on Kid Kalos felt weak. I get super worried. No follow-up play because you're not playing into talents. Okay, so Droplet is an okay-ish play. It prevents Kid Kalos. It does open up the Link play plus Garura summon. And Danger Nessie getting discarded by its own effect. And Jackalope getting discarded by its own effect. But it's not going to matter, sadly. Sprint hits, Sprint connects. And I do Gamma that one. Maybe wishful thinking. Not so sure if you knew the Reno Heart there, or if you knew the hand. What was Murley Surge before? I'm not so sure. So I guess maybe you could have expected Murley, but I mean, I think this Gamma was okay. Problem here is that Rule Carols negates summons, and it does activate or does play into not Imperm, but talents. But I knew this was a super risky play. My only line of play are potential 2 top decks here in these situations were maybe Blood Dragon and Adamancipator, the red Adamancipator, I think. You know, Link Away, etc. But I don't. And I already used my normal summon, so this is game over. It felt kind of close. Kinda, a little bit. But in all honesty, that 5th duel, Adamancipator felt a little bit stronger compared to Adamancipator, especially when they went first or second. From both decks, I feel that Tearlaments was the deck that had the slights or had the better chances if they were forced to go second. So next matchup, I think this was already a game like years ago, Blood versus Dragon Ruler, so feel free to leave your predictions. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching. Feel free to leave a comment or like if you enjoyed the video. Riddim signing out. Peace.